Greetings, Glitter Gang, and welcome back to Kathryn Scraps Live. This is the evening show on Thursday, October 6th. I survived Hurricane Ian. Everything is cool. And we are now working on, we've completed all of the file folders, everything to do with the red file folders. So they're all completely matted, all the inserts are done, all of that. So now we're working on the green. So what we have with these green are 5.5 by 8.5. Folders. So we just took an 8.5 by 11 and folded it in half essentially. I did hit record, yes. So we are all good, but I checked because I was like, did I? And I did. I'm just that fast. I'm just that fast. I'm the fastest mouse in the West. Okay, so we have to figure out what we're going to do on the inside, and we have to figure out what we're going to do on the back. So, yeah, so those are the two things we need to figure out. So on the back, we need some kind of insert, and I would like it to hold 4x6 photos. So just like going off the inserts we've done so far, I'm thinking maybe a twist on this. So this insert itself is too large, but my guess is I could make something similar that would fit and that would hold a good number of photos. So what I'm thinking is if instead of having two photos here, I did one 4x6, then I could have the 4x4s on either side. And that should shrink it enough that we can get it in the pocket. And then what I'll do is, just so it has a different closure, we'll probably have a flap come up from the bottom because these will overlap a little bit. So that's kind of what I think we should do. Oh my gosh, look at all these inserts. They're so cute. What cute inserts. So, okay. All right, so let's get a notebook. He's sleeping in his little crinkle hut. He likes his little crinkle house. All right. All right, so okay. So the whole thing can't be any bigger, basically, than 5x7. So if we do a, let's see, let's make this. So this is 4x6, or 4.5 by 6. So it would be one piece that was 4.5, and then not by 6.5 because we can put the flaps on it if we make it 4.5 by, no, let's make it 4.5 by 6.5, because then we need two that are 4.5 by 5.5, and that's going to be easier to get a lot out of one page. I don't know why I added the inch marks, because we know it's inches and it just makes it more confusing. And then we need some kind of flap. So these are going to, when they fold down, they're going to fold down here and then up to here. So they're going to overlap each other right here in the middle, and they could just magnetize. But I wonder if we also made a little envelope flap so that they almost looked like a coin envelope when they were closed up. So if we did that, it would need to go farther down than 2 inches because the angles, we wouldn't necessarily want to see these poking out. So what do I want to do about that flap? I wonder if I found, all right, let's make it 3.5. So this is 6.5. So 3.25 would be half. So let's make it 3 inches. So it'll be 4.5 by 4, because it has to have a flap as well. And then we'll angle it only to 1 inch up, and that way the overlap won't will be covered. Okay, so let's also talk about cardstock, because I know that we do not have, well, maybe I don't know. Do we have enough to make 4 of them? So we have to be able to get all the pieces for more than one. So we can get all 4 4.5 by 6.5 sheets out of one. Then can we get 6, 8, 4.5 by 5.5 out of one of these? Because if we can't, then we can't do it. 4.5 by 5.5. So that would, we can only get 4. So we would be missing the flaps. So I would need enough scrap of green. No, I don't have enough. What I do have is the red. I have enough of the red though. So we could just do the red. Or we could do the brown. Now we used green on our inserts on our red ones. So we could flip it and do the red, and we'll still be keeping to 2 cardstock colors. Let's just do that. We'll just use the maroon. So the color I've been using is spruce for the green and maroon for the red. And I'm going to pull some scraps out of here because I think I have enough pieces to really do some big, so I think I have some big chunks here, at least to get the flaps maybe. All right, so I need 1 sheet for the 4.5 by 6.5, and I need 2 sheets for the 4.5 by 5.5. So that's these 3 sheets, and that gives me 1 more sheet for the 4.5 by 4s if I can't get them out of scraps. Okay. Woo! We are getting close. We are close. Close on the cardstock. Wow, 2 packs of cardstock essentially for this project. All right. Okay, so let's start with 5x7 pinwheel, which we will then cut down to 4.5 by 6.5. I know I need to order more cardstock because I need to replenish these colors, and I need to I need to replenish these colors, and I feel like there's there's other colors I ran out of or ran low on. So I need to do a complete inventory of what I have and what I don't have and do another order. And I've noticed that, you know, where I've used enough black that I think I should order another 250 pack of the black. And I have a 250 pack. I have enough of the craft left and enough of the white, but I also have never ordered a 250 pack of the off-white. I just need to pick which off-white I like best, because I do need to get a 250 pack of off-white. And by the way, that's a tip, because they do offer quantity discounts at the paper mill store. So you can get up to free shipping or to get to quantity discounts by ordering up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have the 4.5 by 6.5. I'm going to cut out my 4.5 by 4s out of these and as many 4.5 by 5s as I can to see if I can just give myself a little extra grace on the cardstock so that I can make a mistake if I need to make a mistake. So any piece that's big enough to cut 4.5 by 5.5, I will. Because I need a total of 8 of those. All right, so I now have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 4.5 by 4 and 4 4.5 by 5.5. So I need 4 more 4.5 by 5.5 to get it all from scrap. All right. Here's 2 more. So that's 6 now. All right. And the last 2, I got it all out of scrap. That's what I have left. Oh my gosh. Luckily for the Halloween project, we can use black. But this is all the red scrap I have. Okay. All right. So we actually got everything except for these out of scrap. So we did really well with scrap, or really well with getting them from scrap rather. These I just need to cut down to 4.5 by 6.5 and we'll be all good. Oh no, not 4.5. Oh yeah, 4.5 by 6.5. Yeah. I was like, wait, I'm making it too small. I need it to be 8.5, but then I decided not to make it 8.5. So I don't need it to be 8.5. Don't panic. You don't need to panic. All right. Okay, so we've got all of them. Perfect. Marcel's sleeping in his little crinkle cave. It's so cute. He had a really stressful day yesterday, so I think he's just sleepy. I think he's a sleepy little guy. All right, so the 4.5 by 6.5 pieces are not scored. So these are the 4 bases and they will not be scored. All right. Then we have the 4.5 by 5.5 and those will all be scored on the 5.5 inch side at 4.5. And again, there's 8 of these, 2 per insert. So these are 4.5 by 5.5 scored on the 5.5 edge at 4.5. And then these are 4 by 4.5. And they're going to be scored on the 4-inch edge at 3. Hi. How you doing, sir? Okay. Then on these, on the back of one, we just want to come in 3/4 of an inch. So I don't want to come in a full inch. I want to come in 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to line it up on my mat and then line the 3/4 inch line up with the same line and then mark with a pencil, lightly with a pencil. And I only need to come in, you know, about an inch on each side. Okay. And then I'm going to come in another 3/4 of an inch in on each edge. Once again, the other direction. And that's going to make a 3/4 inch square. See how that makes a little 3/4 inch square? We're just going to cut from here to here, and that's going to angle it. Okay, now I'm going to just line those two lines up with the same line on my mat. And then line the ruler up with that line. So those, and then draw across. So that's going to give you, that diagonal line is the cutting line. Okay, same thing. And you don't need to do all this measuring if you know how to cut a 45-degree angle. Just cut a 45-degree angle, a 3/4 inch 45-degree angle. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut those corners. Okay, and then I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to trace this on this sheet of cardstock, and we'll turn this into a template in just a second. I'm going to trace this with a pen, just carefully. So it'll be easier to see. Okay. All right, so we will in a second turn this. My miter tool would cut those angles. I would still need to measure out where the 3/4 of an inch would be. So I could stop it. But this is not right. So let me show you how I would do it with the miter tool. For those of you that have the miter tool, I'll show you how you can do it. So you would draw that 3/4 inch mark. Okay. So we know, and then when you go in, you're going to stop when your pencil line, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Okay, let's see if I can, oh, here we go. I can show you. Okay, so see how there's this like little kind of cross here? So you can see the vertical part of the cross here, and then you can see on the 30-degree angle, you can see the horizontal cross. Oh, you can get a good look at it here. See here, you have that cross. So when I slide this in, I'm going to stop when the pencil is, and it's hard to see the pencil, but when the pencil touches that line, this line, that's when I will stop. I'm just going to fold it so it's a little easier to hold. Okay. Okay. All right, so You could use that, but mine doesn't cut like a single sheet of paper very like great. So, but you can totally do it if you have that tool. All right, so I'm just going to quickly, I think it's just faster once you've made one, since you have to mark them for the miter tool anyway. I think it's just faster once you've made one to just take it and use it as a template for the others. Probably than using the miter tool, just again because you do have to mark where 3/4 of an inch is on your miter tool, no matter what. However, okay, let's just see. Are they all the same? Yeah, they're all the same. So this is the one that was mitered with the tool, and behind it is one that was traced. As you can see, they're the same. So it gives you the exact same effect if you want to use the tool. Although I guess with the tool, maybe you could cut a little stack of them. That would save time. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to erase any pencil lines we have left over, just to clean up our flaps. Wow, that one's super clean. So is that one. Okay. All right, so now let's turn that into a template. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a pen just so it'll be easier to see. So we need to come in 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up with the line on my desk, and then line the 1/8 inch line on my ruler up with the same line. And then we'll just go around taking the 1/8 inch line on the ruler, go all the way around. And if you feel really confident in your cutting skills, you can just use your rotary trimmer instead of marking with a pen. So either way, you know, it's up to you based on your confidence level, which way you want to do it. Pen and scissors, or pen and ruler, or just go straight for the rotary trimmer. This line looks a little wonky. It is wonky. Aha! I traced that kind of wonky. So you can see that even if you trace, you don't always get it exactly right. And then this last one I'll just cut. Okay, and then this will make a template for the pattern paper to go on these. So you see, so now we have that. So we can just trace that onto the pattern paper. All right, there we go. Perfection. Okay, so we have our template, we have our flaps. So with our flaps, fold along the score lines and burnish. And with these 4 flaps, we're going to put the adhesive here, okay? So I'm going to start a tape bracelet. And when I'm doing a tape bracelet on something like this, I line up the score lines, not the edges. Okay. And then now that I've got those 4, I can just do the edge. And we're doing all 4 of the inserts. And these will be what goes in the back of those pockets. And we'll get these decorated all pretty, like little envelope presents. Okay, so that's the flaps. Then for these, you don't need to, you need to just put a line of tape at the top and the bottom, okay? A line of tape at the top and the bottom. And then do. All right. All right. Okay, so that's those. These are the 4x6s. And then for these 8 pieces, with these, we're going to put tape. These we are going to line up by the edges because we're going to put tape on the edges, and the tape will be on the inside of the edges. Okay, so the tape's going to go here. And there's 8 of these. These are the 4.5 by 5.5 pieces. Just on the edge of the flap. All right. And there we go. All right. So now we've done all of our taping. We're ready to assemble these. So we're going to burnish the tape and then cut these apart and then fold along the score line and burnish. All right. All right. Then burnish and separate. And then fold along the score lines and burnish. Okay. Then for these, burnish, cut apart. Okay, now we're going to stick these together. And this is how. So peel the tape from one of the 4x6s and two of the flaps. And then you're going to stick it down, and you want to see, you know, 1/8 of an inch or so. Not an 1/8, more like a 1/16 of an inch of cardstock. So let me see if I can show. You can see how there's a little gap between the edge of my cardstock and the score line. That's what I want. I want a gap there. It's about a 1/16 of an inch, between a 32nd of an inch and a 1/16 of an inch, a hair. It doesn't have to be a lot. I just don't want the score line touching. So there we go. So now those are going to fold down, down, up, and then that's where this comes in. Okay. So actually, let's just finish all of them. Let's just finish all of them. Okay. All right, so there we go. Cut. Cut. Not cut. Scrape. Okay. All right, so there we go. And there. All right, that's two. Peel, 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 go. Yep. Yep. All right. Okay. Last one. And last one. Okay, so now these. Burnish. Yes, exactly. We're going. We are going. There we go. And there, and there. Now, these. We are efficient, mass production. Okay, so these go on top of the one on the top, lined up score line to score line. Okay, so the way it's going to fold is flap, flap, flap. So look, it looks like a nice, tidy little envelope. You can't see where this one ends or doesn't. Then you go up, down, up, and then another picture there. All right, that's the envelope. We could even put the little circly bits on there if we want to do circly bits. You guys decide in the chat if you want to do magnet or button and string. Magnet or button and string. Okay. Button and string is cute, but takes a long time. That's true. I think magnet is probably going to be better because it has to go down inside this pocket. And with button and string, you know, that adds a lot of bulk with the brads. So I think we'll just go with magnet. But you could do button and string, but magnet is winning in the votes and magnet will lay flatter. So I'm going to just say we can go ahead and go with magnet. All right. So the question is, where do we want to put our magnet? And I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put the magnet here and here, and then the flap will just kind of hold down that edge, but the two magnets will have fewer layers between them. Now, do we want to do button and string? Is button and string, are you feeling button and string now? No, magnet, you're not changing your minds? Okay. Not changing your minds. Okay. All right. So we're going to need 8 magnets. I said magnet weird. That was a weird way to say magnet. We need magnets. We need glue dots. Okay. All right. So this strip, so you see how we have this flap is an inch here, and then we have this inch, and then we have this edge. You want to just put it in the middle of this space in the middle, and it'll be perfectly aligned. Okay. All right. So all right, so I'm just putting my magnets Look at these neat, tidy They look like little envelopes, which is perfect for the Santa vibes. Okay, that's it. So the construction on these is now done. So now all we need to do is the decorating. They're just ready to be decorated. We've got our template all ready. So we just need to count out how many photo mats we need and then go from there. I know why magnets have these spacers, but I hate them so much. Hate them, hate them, hate them. Okay. All right, so let's count what we need for photos. So we need, we need 1, 2, 3 times 4, so 12. So we need 12 that are 4 by 4, and then 4 that are 4 by 6. Okay. All right. So 12 4 by 4s and 12 4 by 6s and 4 4 by 6s. Okay. So the 4 4 by 6s are easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then because I do have so many more of these, I'm going to cut these down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take these over to the big trimmer and cut them into 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch squares, because over there I can cut them 4 at a time, and then I'll be right back. Okay. So I'm just going to cut these, and I just need to cut 1 inch off each side. So I just cut 4 of them at a time. And then I cut, you know, 1 inch off each side. So I put it at 5 1/4 and cut, and then I flip it around and put it at 4 1/4 and cut. That's how I do it. Okay, so we've got the 4 by 4s, and here's the 4 by 6s. So I think 2 of the 4 by 6s are taped already. So we'll just tape the other 2 really quickly. And then we'll make the 4 by, well, they're 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So they're, and these are 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So that you can just plop a photo right down on top of them. And you don't have to remove them. which is another reason why using thin paper works nicely. Printer weight paper. Alrighty. Okay, so there's those, and now for these, we're gonna make a couple tape bracelets and go from there. So I hope you're all doing well, having a great day. Remember that if you like this video and subscribe to this channel, you'll get you'll see in your subscription box whenever I add to this playlist, if you want to continue to follow along, as well as when I start the Halloween project, which will be the next project after this, because Halloween is a-coming round the corner. I feel like this is what happens to me. Is it the Christmas project that makes the Halloween project late? Can we blame it on that? Although I don't feel that was the problem last year. Was that the problem last year? Or was the problem last year that the project was super complicated? Sure, or Ian. We could blame it on Ian. That would be fine too. I mean, when you have a hurricane to blame it on, might as well, right? I don't know why I'm twisting my wrists and making this so hard for myself when I almost always just turn it like this. This is the whole reason we make a tape bracelet, Kathryn. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're being weird. Now you're whispering like a creep. Why? Whispering like a creep. Okay. So, my gosh, it's so hot in my office. Before we know it, we'll be planning Scrappy Bowl. That's true. That's true. I wonder who will be in Scrappy Bowl this year. Well, I mean, will be in Scrappy Bowl. I guess I wonder who will be in the Super Bowl. It's 63 where you are. 63 degrees. Nice crisp fall weather. All right, so I wonder what we'll make for Scrappy Bowl this year. Let me think. What did we do last year? I have the memory of a goldfish, apparently. Okay. No, Goldilocks is not a for Scrapbook. We need something that at least part of it can be taught in one chaotic hour. Because between like everything going on Scrapbook, I usually have about an hour of teaching time, which is kind of wild considering the Super Bowl is like 4 hours long. But it's just a lot, you know. It's a big party. It's a lot going on. So it's got to be, I'll figure it out. I always think of something. But I honestly do not remember what oh, Golden Memories. That's right. And we decorated that whole thing. That's a completed project. Woo! That's right. I am going to be really glad for like a full weekend and week of doing nothing, because the hurricane was really hard on my back in a lot of ways. There's so many negatives to hurricanes. So few positives. So I think it's all the prep, all the carrying this and lifting that and all that kind of stuff, you know, is what did it. Well, I got a fire pit for this fall. I got it looks like a witch's cauldron. It's a cauldron style fire pit, so it's just a cast iron bowl essentially. And then we got these logs from a camping store. They're called, I think they're called eco logs. There's some kind of composite that is used for, they said they're for if you cook with them. So they're kind of the same idea as a Duraflame, only they're not covered in chemicals. They have, in fact, fewer chemicals in their soot than regular wood, like from a tree. So, and we got little wax, and maybe if, that's a good point. If the coffin album goes well, we can try another shaped album. That could be fun. I did think about doing an album shaped like a paper bag. So not made out of paper bags, but just shaped like one, where it had a handle and a cutout in the handle, you know, kind of shaped like a bag. Because like you carry bags around on Halloween. So that's what I thought of as a backup if I can't make the coffin work. So I do have ideas for shapes. Shapes that can be done without a machine, you know, shapes that you could do by careful measuring and cutting. All right, so we're going to burnish all these photo mats and stick them down. And I thought it might be fun to decorate that paper bag like a little jack-o'-lantern if we like put a little face on it. So I do have, you know, ideas for if the coffin doesn't work out. All right. Okay, so now we're going to cut all these apart and stick them into their books. All right. I don't know why I flipped that over. That was not the right answer, but whatever. All right. So the bag album could be cute for Christmas, like a gift bag. Maybe for Scrappy Bowl, we could do like a sweetheart album, or something. Would be something that would be very versatile. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to peel the tape. Now I'm wondering if I've made too many of these, but we'll see. I guess we'll find out shortly. An Easter basket could be cute. Okay. And then one of these as well. Okay. I'm going to get out my ATG for just a second here. So just want to put a little swipe in the middle there. Okay. Right, so we only need 3 per, not 4, so my math is not correct. But that's okay. It is not the end of the world to have extras. I'll just put them in their envelopes. And I'll have some squares for the next time I want some squares. I wonder if one year for Scrappy Bowl I should just make a football. I mean, we all need a football-shaped album, right? We all need a football-shaped album. That's what the people are clamoring for. That's what the people want. Football-shaped albums. I get emails all day long. Kathryn, when are you going to make a football-shaped album? I've been waiting so long for a football-shaped album. When's it going to happen? When? All right. Peel, peel, peel. Okay, one of these. Ew. Gretchen, can you convince her to just have a nice album in the shape, in the colors, you know, like with a crimson base, and then, and just let it go? We don't have to have footballs on everything. We can just have a nice crimson base, you know, we can, to our album, and just use a nice school themed paper or fall themed paper or insert anything else other than a football. All right, last one. And then we'll be ready to decorate. Oh my gosh, 1041. Well, I guess I did make all the inserts and put the photos in, photo mats in. So it was a lot. We accomplished a lot. I've used up, Gretchen's used up every red piece of paper in her house. She's out of all of her reds. I wonder if you could figure out which red is the crimson of, it's probably got a Pantone color and everything that we could look up and try and figure it out. Hey Google, what is the Pantone number for Alabama's crimson? Yeah. PMS 201 for the crimson and PMS 430 for the gray. See? Knew it. Knew it. Knew we could figure it out. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up PMS 201 and tell you which of these colors is Alabama crimson. You're welcome, everyone. I know it's probably going to be this maroon. It's probably going to be this maroon. Okay, but elephant paper would be cute. All right, we did it. Okay, so we've got one for each of these. Oh my gosh, this album is going to be so thick. What was I thinking? Mississippi is maroon. Ole Miss. Ole Miss. Okay. All right, so there was a couple things I wanted to look up / show you, like I wanted us to look at the Halloween paper together, that sort of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a recording break here. And this video will be in the playlist, but the next, but the next little bit where we're looking at the Halloween paper and such will be in the archives, but not in the playlist because it won't have anything to do with this album. So so if you're watching in the playlist, you know, this is the last of the recordings for October 6th. So, okay. So thank you so much for joining me for this Christmas in July album. If you're watching live, just hang tight. We're going to look at the Halloween papers. We're going to figure out what Pantone color, which cardstock matches Alabama's crimson the best. Such a whatever. Anyway, and then we're going to look at the Halloween color papers is mostly what we're going to do. So if you're watching live, just hang tight. For those of you who are watching in the playlist, this is it for this week, but there'll be more videos coming as we finish this wonderful book. We want to get this done next week if we can, which I think we can, because we just have to do the inserts mat the insides of these and then make a cover. So, I mean, it's questionable, but maybe we'll see what we can do. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye now.